it just connects me to, you know, reggae music. I love the bass, I love the rhythm, everything about it. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, you know, reggae has always been a voice for social change. You know, your songs touch on your struggles, the Rasta philosophy and community issues. So how do you balance these, you know, deep messages and make music that still moves on the dance floor? Because you still want to dance, but you're still listening to what you're actually saying as well. So how do you balance that?
That's it. Just taking the risk, you know, because, you know, you have to keep it current as far as the lyrics go and the flow, seeing. So even though the root of the music is there with the drum and the bass and the rhythm, the piano progression, because it's reggae, seeing. But as far as the lyrics now, that's where you kind of keep it current, current topics, current flow, and that's how you grab the new listeners, the new audience, the new song, you know. But yet still, you have to make sure that the foundation is, the house is still right.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think it's important as well when you do have a voice to speak about certain issues. For me, and I know that's one thing that reggae music often does, but I think it's important as well because, you know, people relate to things, especially when they hear it through music and people's stories. You know, it can help so many and inspire so many. So I think it's important to talk about social issues and social change. So, you know, you built a strong following in Toronto and beyond, you know, through live shows and community involvement. So how important is that, you know, local connection to your identity as a band, would you say?
Very important. What I'm saying, you have to dance before you dance abroad.
Yes,
that is it. You know, so just making sure we connect with the people locally, you know, and we're there and we still have that Toronto essence.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's reggae, which is originated here in Jamaica, but we're a Toronto-based act. So we don't want to come off like Serere, like, you know, we're imitating everything that's happening here in Jamaica. We still want to make sure we have our flavor and our vibe. As you see me, you know, we have a certain look. Seeing and a sound, and that's me, that's Toronto.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. So, you know, each of you brings different experiences and influences to the music. Can you share a bit about how you collaborate, you know, as songwriters and arrangers? How, you know, within the band, how does that process work for you guys?
Very easy. You know, we have songs that are done by our bass player Carlton Denal as well, and Charmazel Jorman, our keyboardist, and they have songs on the album. Charmazel has one called Maccabee Chant. The bass player Carlton Denal has one called Wise Words. So we keep it free, we keep it open. You know, we bring our songs to the table, and sometimes the songs make the cut and sometimes they don't, because one of our songs don't make the cut. But with that said, we take the best of the bunch and give everyone the opportunity to say what they have to say within respect and reason, obviously.
I want to know how the band came about, because I'm a child from you know, my father's had a band, so I've grown up in that all my life. And so how did the band come together? How did you two, were you friends from school? Was you know, how did the band actually get together?
Yeah, well, it actually started with myself and Roscoe, you know, the true genesis. I was an artist, like a very young artist, you know, with a guitar and just aspirations to be a musician. Because I, just like yourself, grew up as part of a musical family. My father was a great musician who played with the likes of Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaac, and the greats. So I grew up in that type of thing. Now, with that said, I started to record, and when I started to record, I said I wanted the right producer, which was Roscoe Christie, great producer. And then from there, he saw that I had talent, and he said, you know, my youth, what you're doing is nice, but you need a reggae band, you need a band. You never really feel the band thing too tough, you know? I talk about band, kind of tell you have Sizzler, artists are doing them thing. But, you know, he showed me the right way, and then we brought in Charmazel, and then we brought in Basie, and then everybody just kind of roped in. So it really started from me recording my own songs, seeing potential, and then we just built a band around it. And now, you know, here we are.
Wow. So the reggae, first of all, so do you play an instrument?
Guitar.
Oh, you play what, rhythm or bass?
Guitar rhythm. So
rhythm, guitar, that's what my dad plays. Okay, yes, okay. So, you know, the reggae scene in Canada continues to grow and evolve. What do you think sets Canadian reggae, you know, apart from, you know, other countries in so the reggae scene in Canada has it set themselves apart, and how do you see it connecting with Jamaica and the global scene as well?
Well, we have a rich history, you know, because what if a yard man run with a yard in the 70s, you know? Yeah, real talk. And they came to Toronto.
Lots in Canada.
Yeah, and they brought the energy, you know. Even I was talking to a agent of mine, Ferguson Hamilton.
Yeah.
You know, he was telling me, he was like, you know, I used to play with your dad, and he said, you know, in the 80s when the politics friction hit yard rough, what if a man run away and come to Toronto? But they brought that essence. See? So what it is Toronto itself, we have our own root of the music, our own root of the culture.
Yes.
And we've been fostering it from those days to this day, you know. But you also notice that even with us, you have a slight influence of hip hop because we're right there attached to America.
Yeah.
So it's like a interesting mix of the hip hop culture, but then the reggae roots, you know.
Yeah, it's there, yeah. And as you were speaking, I was just thinking of my dad's band in England, that, you know, they wanted to also have their sort of sound, but still a lot of people, as you know, went to England, Windrush, and helped build the country, and that, so that essence is still there. So yeah, so I definitely can, you know, relate to what you're saying. So, you know, your social media presence is very strong, and you know, with fans responding to your videos and live clips, how do you use, you know, those online platforms to spread your message and connect with, you know, users and listeners all over the world?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm the exact opposite.
Oh,
you know? Yeah, I'm an introvert.
Okay.
Yeah, very introverted. So a lot of times we get a lot of hits, you know, like we'll post videos. And I just post it because the band says, Maverick, you have to post. You have to do
post.
this.
Yeah.
So to the outside person, it may look like, say, boy, I love posting. But I don't, you know, I really don't. Yeah, but what happens is it gains traction.
Yes,
you know,
it does.
so, but it's just, I'm exact opposite.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably my sign because I'm a Cancerian.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I'm more, you know, to myself.
Oh, okay.
You know, but it happens. So we post and the people like it in the community, and it just usually gains a lot of traction. So we just keep it going.
You know, where we are, as you said, we have to stay current. Where we are in the world, society is social media, and it plays a big part, and a lot of people go to that for music and to find out what's going on, and you know, and a lot it's about connecting with your fans as well, because the fans, they want to know the people, because we're in an age now where they want to see everything. And be a part of everything. So I understand that sometimes, you know, you are a person that stays to yourself, but what you're doing is great because the people love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, they do. They really do. They really do. So, you know, the band's journey has spanned over 10 years. And what's been one of the biggest lessons or turning points along the way, would you say, for the band?
When it's your time, it's your time.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have to love it because, you know, every interview this question seems to come up, but it's the same answer. You know, you're gonna have a lot of disappointing moments. So if you don't love it, you're gonna quit.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you love it, you have a passion for it, because you're gonna have more rocky roads than great moments. So if you don't love it, just leave it. Yeah, really, you have to love it.
Well, I wanted to ask you, you know, what it's like performing in front of Jamaicans. Because listen, Jamaicans, they're a tough crowd, you know, tough crowd. So when some of your first performances and stuff, you know, what was your experience like of that? Because they can be very critical when they're ready. They tell you how it is.
All the way.
Yeah, so how's that been for you?
Really good. Actually, I'll bring it back to last week at the Hurricane benefit concert.
Yes.
See, because when we went to the JCA, you know, it's a sea of people. You know, the place was full.
Yes.
You know, when I went up on stage, I said, boy, bring me up here for 6 or dance. And every man go up there sing some nice tune and some nice tune. I'm going to be to sing some raga vibes, you know. But it was lovely, man. I said, man, I rock. I said, I'm a vet, I rock, I'm a bush. I said, what? I said, you pull up that. The man said, don't pull up, you have to pull it up and go on again.
Yeah, nice.
But I like it because it lets you know where you are.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
You keep it real. And then you stay within your craft. You know, you stay within your craft. You don't get too excited, you don't get too high or too low. You stay within your craft.
Yeah. And I know that must be an overwhelming feeling to connect with people. You know, they hear your music, they're receptive to it and enjoying it. So I know that must be a great feeling, because you know what you put in to what you're doing. So when you see that reception, it must be wonderful.
It is great. Yeah, it feels really good. Yeah.
It must be. So, looking ahead to your festival and conference campaign in 2026 and those international tour offers, what next for Memberz Syndicate, and what can fans look forward to from you guys?
We're putting together a 2026 tour as we speak.
Oh, wow.
So it's happening. So the dates, we're starting to add them up right now. I think we have about 7 dates, throughout Canada, and we're looking to add some international dates outside of the country. But as you probably know, as you're part of the business, in order to do it I have to book it from now.
Yes.
For the summer.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So we're starting to book them from now, and just looking forward to getting on the road and let the people hear the music, let them hear the message, and really just judge where we stand in the whole scope of this music internationally.
So I know you get this question often, and I ask everyone it, but for us, it's important because Sun City Radio is all about giving, artists a platform, unsigned people a place to go to showcase their talent and their music. So it's important for me to ask this question, I feel, and it's what message, what advice can you give to people that, want to get in the industry, or maybe you can speak from the point of view being outside of reggae music, or being in Canada and doing reggae music. So what message or advice would you give to someone?
Speak from your heart. Yeah, don't sell yourself. Yeah, don't be someone who you are not. There's one particular song that I used to always listen to from Sizzla, and it's called Mental Chains.
Okay.
Don't go on pretending to be someone you cannot. And I took that real, because don't be someone you cannot, because at the end of the day you have to go back home and look in the mirror and look at that person. So stay true to who you are, and I feel like if you do that as an upcoming artist, you can't lose. You just cannot lose, because you're true to yourself, and the people will know. The people will know if you're faking it. Seeing? So just keep it real, be yourself. Yeah.
And then I'm going to ask you for another message again. So, what's your message to the Jamaican people as well? Because obviously the country is going through some challenging times right now after, the Hurricane Melissa. So what message, or what would you like to say to the Jamaican people?
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Seeing? And, stay resilient. This is the time to be together, to stay with each other and to help each other. One hand washes the other. Seeing, you've been through the worst, there's been Ivan, there's been Gilbert, there's been Beryl, but we as, I'm saying we, right?
Yes,
we are. Seeing, we've never experienced a category 5.
Never.
And we experienced it, and we're still standing. Seeing, so that shows the resilience and the strength of a people, but outside of that, stay with each other, help one hand wash the other, like I said. And just believe in yourself, believe that there's hope. And trust me, man. Hey, listen, man. Jamaica, it's a small spot on the map, on the global map. But listen, man, there's powers here. See, and don't feel like we're America or Canada. No, it's here. The world looks here. That's what I'm saying. So remember that and keep that strength.
Okay, we're going to play the song a little bit more before we go, so people can hear it again, and then we are going to have to sign out, people.
Yeah.